Some people wake up and notice their face looks different in the mirror. It's not accumulated fat, it's not sudden aging, it's weight, it's puffiness, it's loss of definition, even after a good night of sleep. And this change doesn't appear randomly, it's a response. In most cases, it comes from diet. More specifically, from how often sugar shows up in your daily routine. Your face works like a sensitive panel of what's happening inside your body before the scale goes up, before energy drops, before any test shows changes. Small signs already begin to appear. Morning puffiness, less defined features, heavier-looking eyes, a softer jawline. These changes are often interpreted as fatigue or even premature aging, but in many cases, they are metabolic signals. Sugar does not act only as a source of energy. It changes the internal environment. Each intake triggers adjustments. The body tries to adapt. These adjustments directly affect fluid balance. Elimination becomes less efficient. Retention increases slightly. And the natural balance shifts. These changes are silent, but visible, especially in the face. Facial tissue is delicate. Small fluid accumulations become noticeable easily. What you see is not fat. It's fluid, liquid between the cells. This fluid softens natural contours. The jawline loses definition. Cheekbones become less prominent. The under-eye area gains volume. At the same time, a second effect occurs. Skin support weakens. Natural firmness decreases. With less structural support, small fluid retention becomes visible. The face appears fuller, even without real tissue increase. There is also a third factor. Sugar keeps the body in a mild, alert state, constant. This state reduces the efficiency of natural drainage. The lymphatic system begins to work more slowly. When drainage slows down, fluids remain. Waste accumulates. Skin loses vitality. A cycle forms. More sugar, more retention, less definition, more tired appearance. This process can happen quickly. Just a few days of frequent intake may create visible changes. The face becomes slightly rounder. The jawline softens. Lightness disappears. Many people believe this is aging, but it isn't. It's adaptation. The body is reacting to the internal environment. Another important point. Excess is not required. Small amounts repeated throughout the day are enough. Sweetened drinks, light desserts, processed foods, all contribute. This state reduces peripheral circulation efficiency. Tissue oxygenation decreases, skin loses uniformity, natural glow fades. The face appears more tired, heavier, more swollen. But this is not permanent, it's a physiological response. When the stimulus remains, the body maintains the adjustment. When the stimulus disappears, the body seeks balance. And this movement often begins in the most sensitive areas, like the face. When sugar intake stops, something begins to shift. Not instantly, but steadily. The body moves from reacting to restoring. Instead of constantly adjusting to incoming stimuli, it starts rebuilding internal balance. The first change is not aesthetic, it is functional. Fluid regulation improves, circulatory patterns stabilize, internal pressure on tissues decreases. This shift often appears in the face before anywhere else. In the early days, mornings feel different. The face looks lighter, tension fades, swelling becomes less noticeable. Not because fat disappeared, but because excess fluid is no longer held in the same way. As stability improves, circulation becomes more dynamic. Blood flow reaches tissues more efficiently. Waste removal becomes more consistent. Cells receive better support. Skin reflects this change. Texture begins to smooth. Tone appears more even. Surface dullness starts to fade. Without repeated sugar exposure, the body is no longer pushed into constant adjustment. It shifts from defense to maintenance. Energy is redirected toward recovery. Facial tissue responds quickly. Without retained fluid pressing outward, natural contours begin to return. The jawline becomes clearer. Cheek structure becomes more visible. The under-eye area appears less heavy. This is not a transformation. It is a release of excess pressure, a release of retained fluid. Another change occurs quietly. The sensation of heaviness fades. Expressions appear softer. The face reflects less strain. Internal balance allows tissues to function more freely. Hydration becomes more evenly distributed. Fluid moves instead of stagnating. As the days progress, sleep patterns often improve. Without repeated metabolic spikes, the nervous system settles. Rest becomes deeper. Deeper rest further reduces facial tension. This creates a reinforcing cycle: less sugar, more internal stability, less retention, more visible definition. Many people notice this before any change in body weight. The mirror shifts first, not because of dieting, but because of balance. The face begins to align with its natural structure. Contours become more consistent. Lines appear softer, not because volume increased, but because swelling decreased. Skin reflects improved circulation. Brightness returns gradually. The overall appearance becomes lighter. This is not about perfection, it is about responsiveness. The body responds when constant pressure is removed, and the face reveals that response. As several days pass, subtle changes accumulate. Morning puffiness reduces, contours stabilize. The sensation of tightness diminishes. The face looks more rested, not artificially, but naturally. Movement in the tissues improves. Fluid exchange becomes more efficient. The surface of the skin appears calmer, the tone looks more uniform. This happens without intervention, without products, without procedures. It happens through internal adjustment. The absence of a constant metabolic trigger allows systems to function normally again. The lymphatic rhythm becomes more efficient. Circulation supports instead of compensates. Tissues regain flexibility. The face reflects these shifts. Cheeks appear less tense. The jawline becomes more defined. The eye area looks clearer. Another important change emerges. The face begins to hold less overnight fluid. Morning swelling becomes less intense. Daily fluctuations decrease. Consistency appears. By the end of several days, the difference becomes noticeable, not dramatic, but meaningful. The face looks lighter, the expression looks calmer, the overall appearance suggests recovery. This transformation is quiet, yet visible. It does not come from adding something. It comes from removing pressure. And once pressure is removed, balance returns. The face does not change randomly. It reflects internal conditions. When those conditions stabilize, appearance follows. Give your body 7 days without added sugar. Then look at your face again. The difference might tell you more than the scale ever will.